In 2015, the Centers for Disease Control released a study that shocked the nutrition world. They analyzed 47 fruits and vegetables. They measured vitamin density, mineral content, and bioavailability. They ranked every single one from worst to best. And when the results came in, something strange happened. The winner wasn't kale. It wasn't spinach. It wasn't broccoli or blueberries or any of the superfoods you see promoted everywhere. The winner scored a perfect 100 out of 100. The only food in the entire study to do so. And yet, chances are, you've never bought it. You've never grown it. You might not even know its name. It's called watercress. And this is the story of how the most nutritious vegetable on Earth became invisible. Let's start with what the CDC actually found. When they measured nutrient density, they looked at 17 critical nutrients. Things like fiber, potassium, protein, calcium, iron, zinc, and vitamins A, B, C, D, E, and K. They calculated how much of each nutrient you get per calorie consumed. This matters because nutrient density tells you how much nutrition your body actually receives for what you eat. And watercress dominated every category. It scored 100. Perfect. Kale scored 49. Spinach scored 86. Broccoli scored 34. The vegetable you see on every health blog, in every smoothie recipe, promoted by every fitness influencer, kale, scored less than half of what watercress scored. And yet, if you walk into any grocery store in America right now, you'll find mountains of kale. You'll find spinach in every form. Pre-washed, pre-bagged, organic, non-organic, baby spinach, mature spinach. But watercress? If you find it at all, it'll be a tiny plastic box hidden somewhere in the corner. Usually wilted, usually expensive, usually ignored. How did this happen? To understand, we need to go back. Way back. Because watercress isn't some newly discovered superfood. It's one of the oldest vegetables in human history. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, built his first hospital on the island of Kos in ancient Greece around 400 BC. And he didn't choose that location randomly. He built it next to a stream where watercress grew wild. He prescribed it to his patients. He believed it could purify the blood and calm the mind. He called it a medicine that grows in water. The Roman soldiers ate it before battle. They believed it gave them strength and clarity. Persian kings served it at royal feasts. It spread across Europe not as a luxury, but as a survival food. Because here's the thing about watercress. It grows in running water. Clean streams, shallow rivers, natural springs. It doesn't need soil. It doesn't need farms. It doesn't need irrigation systems, or pesticides, or fertilizers. It just grows. Anywhere there's moving fresh water, watercress can thrive. For centuries, peasants and farmers across Europe relied on it. It was free. It was abundant. It was available year-round, even in winter. While other crops failed during cold months, watercress kept growing. Kept producing fresh, edible leaves packed with vitamins. It was the original survival food, the plant that kept poor families alive when everything else was scarce. In Victorian England, watercress became so important that an entire industry grew around it. They called them watercress sellers. Poor women and children who would wake up before dawn, travel to streams outside the city, harvest bundles of watercress, and bring them back to sell on the streets of London. They called it poor man's bread, because for just a penny, a family could buy a bunch of watercress and have enough nutrition to survive another day. There are records from this era showing that watercress sellers were among the hardest working people in the city. They'd walk for miles in the dark. They'd stand in freezing streams. They'd carry heavy baskets through crowded streets. And they did it because there was demand, because people knew that watercress was valuable, because nutrition wasn't a trend back then. It was survival. So what changed? Why did this plant go from essential to invisible? The answer is the same answer you'll find behind most forgotten foods: industrialization, scale, profit margins. You see, watercress has a problem if you're trying to sell it. It doesn't store well. Once you harvest it, the leaves begin to wilt within hours. It needs to be sold fresh. It needs to be eaten quickly. You can't ship it across the country. You can't warehouse it for weeks. You can't process it into shelf-stable products that sit in supermarkets for months. Compare that to kale. Kale is tough. Kale survives transport. Kale can be bagged and shipped and stored. Kale can be turned into chips, powders, supplements. Kale can be marketed, branded, and sold at scale. Watercress can't. Watercress resists the modern food system. It demands freshness. It demands locality. It demands that you either grow it yourself or live near someone who does. And so, as the food industry consolidated, as supermarket chains replaced local markets, as fresh and local gave way to processed and shipped, watercress faded. Not because it stopped being nutritious, not because people stopped needing it, but because it couldn't be monetized efficiently. It couldn't generate the profit margins that other vegetables could. And in a food system driven by profit, nutrition becomes secondary. But let's talk about what you're actually missing. Let's talk about what the CDC found in those perfect scores. Watercress contains more vitamin C per calorie than oranges. This isn't marketing. This is measured, tested, verified. The vitamin C in watercress is also more bioavailable than synthetic supplements. Your body absorbs it more efficiently, uses it more completely. It contains more calcium per calorie than milk. And unlike milk, it comes with vitamin K, which helps your body actually deposit that calcium into your bones instead of your arteries. This matters because calcium without vitamin K can actually cause problems. It can calcify in places you don't want it. Watercress gives you both. Naturally. In the right ratios. It contains more iron than spinach. And unlike spinach, watercress has low oxalate content. Oxalates are compounds that bind to minerals and prevent absorption. Spinach is famous for iron, but the oxalates in spinach block much of that iron from being absorbed. Watercress delivers iron without the blockers. It contains significant amounts of vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin B6, folate, manganese, and potassium. All in a single leaf, all for almost 0 calories. All available without processing, without cooking, without any preparation at all. You can pick it and eat it. That's it. But here's where it gets interesting. Because watercress doesn't just provide nutrients, it contains compounds that actively benefit your health in ways scientists are still researching. One of those compounds is called PEITC, phenethyl isothiocyanate. It's a natural chemical that forms when you chew watercress leaves. Studies have shown that PEITC may inhibit the growth of certain cancer cells. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating watercress daily reduced DNA damage in blood cells. It also increased the cell's ability to resist further DNA damage caused by free radicals. Another study from the British Journal of Nutrition found that watercress consumption was linked to reduced triglycerides and increased lutein and beta-carotene levels in blood. These aren't fringe studies. These are peer-reviewed, published research papers showing that watercress has measurable effects on human health markers. And yet, when was the last time a doctor told you to eat watercress? When was the last time a nutritionist recommended it? When was the last time you saw an advertisement for it? You haven't, because there's no money in watercress. No one can patent a plant. No one can trademark a species that grows wild in streams. No supplement company can bottle the complex symphony of nutrients that a living watercress leaf contains. So no one promotes it, no one markets it, no one invests in making you aware of it. Instead, you see kale smoothies, spinach supplements, broccoli extracts, products that can be manufactured, branded, and sold. Products that fit the system. Watercress doesn't fit the system, so the system ignores it. But here's the secret the system doesn't want you to know. You don't need the system to access watercress, because watercress is perhaps the easiest vegetable on earth to grow. You don't need a garden. You don't need land. You don't need any farming experience at all. All you need is a container, some water, and a sunny spot. That's it. Watercress grows in water. Plain, simple water. You can grow it on your kitchen counter. You can grow it on your balcony. You can grow it in a bowl next to your window. Start with seeds, or even simpler. Start with a bunch from the store if you can find one. Place the stems in water. Within days, you'll see roots forming. Within weeks, you'll have new growth. Within a month, you'll be harvesting fresh leaves. And unlike most vegetables, watercress doesn't stop. It keeps growing. You harvest the leaves, and more grow back. You can maintain a single planting for months, even years, with minimal effort. The cost is nearly zero. The space required is minimal. The nutrition delivered is maximum. This is not complicated. This is not some advanced gardening technique. This is how humans grew food for thousands of years before the industrial food system told us we needed to buy everything. And here's something most people don't realize. Watercress tastes good. It has a peppery, slightly tangy flavor, like a cross between arugula and radish. It adds depth to salads. It elevates sandwiches. It works in soups, in smoothies, as a garnish. It's not some bitter health food you have to force down. It's genuinely enjoyable to eat. There's a reason it was served at royal feasts. There's a reason it was valuable enough that people would walk miles in the dark to harvest it. It wasn't just nutritious, it was delicious. So let's review what we know. The CDC says it's the most nutrient-dense vegetable tested. Science shows it has compounds that may protect against cellular damage. History proves it sustained civilizations for thousands of years. It grows for free in water with almost no effort. It tastes good. And yet you've probably never considered growing it or eating it regularly. This is the pattern of our modern food system. The foods that are best for us are often the foods that are worst for business. They can't be patented. They can't be processed. They can't be shipped and stored and sold at scale. So they get forgotten. They get replaced by inferior alternatives that fit the system better. But you have a choice. You can keep buying what they're selling. Or you can grow what they've forgotten. One small container, some water, a few seeds. That's all that stands between you and the most nutritious vegetable on earth. The same plant that Hippocrates used to heal his patients. The same plant that fed Roman soldiers and Persian kings. The same plant that kept poor families alive through brutal winters. It's still here. It's still growing. It's still waiting. The only question is whether you'll remember what they tried to make you forget. If this changed how you think about food, about nutrition, about what's been hidden in plain sight, subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. There are dozens more foods like this. Forgotten, suppressed, ignored. And I'm going to show you all of them. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.